So the People's National Party won the debate, but can they win the election? Let's talk about it. Okay, so first let me start off to make a point that I believe that all Jamaicans should be able to agree on. Whether you're PNP or JLP, I believe that all Jamaicans should wake up this morning feeling good about the debate that Jamaica was the biggest winner. That debate was a masterful debate. The moderator, Janella Pursuit, did an amazing job conducting that debate, and there was no one speaking over each other. And as I said, the debate was masterful, it was excellent, and I believe that all Jamaicans, whether you're PNP, JLP, should wake up this morning feeling proud of what we saw last night with the debate. And I think the Jamaica Debate Commission should be proud of what they did last night. That was only the first debate, but as I said, I believe that all of us should be proud about what took place last night in that debate. But when it comes on to who won the debate, I believe that the People's National Party won the debate, but can they win the election? Does this debate have any impact on the result of the election? And that is what we're going to find out. So let me just break it down why I believe that the People's National Party won the debate last night. So I'm not going to go too deep because the debate was about an hour and 15 minutes and that would be a long show to try and go deep into it. But first, let's talk about the team. Team PNP and Team JLP. I believe that Team PNP won. And Team PNP was Damian Crawford, Raymond Price, and Sophia Fraser-Binns. And even though pretty much Damian Crawford and Raymond Price, they pretty much did most of the heavy lifting, but they did a wonderful job in terms of responding to what needed to be responded and just the way how they conduct themselves. And I know that I saw people coming after Raymond Price, about trying to hit below the belt and stuff like that. But the thing with that debate, like, people want to have like a viral moment because visibility is one of the most important things. You want people to wake up the next morning and to be talking about the People's National Party. And the people are talking about the People's National Party this morning, mainly because of some of the below the belt type of thing that Raymond Price was involved in. So I don't see that as a bad thing. People are talking about it, and that is what they wanted. And when you talk about the Team JLP now, Team JLP, Kamina Johnson-Smith, Matthew Samuda, and Pernell Charles Jr., I believe that overall, individually in the debate, I thought that Matthew Samuda was the strongest of all six. But in terms of a team, I believe that the team PNP was a stronger team. But Matthew Samuda was like stone-faced, serious, just putting out facts out there. So I thought that he did a wonderful job. I thought that the JLP, like having Pernell Charles Jr. was the biggest disadvantage to the Jamaica Labour Party, Team JLP. I thought that it's almost like he wasn't there. So I thought that he didn't add any value to Team JLP. But as I said, I thought that Matthew Samuda did a wonderful job. And Kamina Johnson-Smith, she did okay, but she had a few stumbles. But I believe that overall, Team PNP was the better team. Sound off in the comment section and let me know your thoughts. Do you agree on this? Do you believe that the Team PNP, that they did a better job in conducting themselves when it came on to that debate? Let me know in the comment section. Okay, so let's talk about where I believe that the People's National Party, that Team PNP, scored the biggest point. And the biggest point that was scored in the night for the People's National Party, I would say number one was healthcare. And for Raymond Price and Damian Crawford, I think at some point calling out that, look, this is a Jamaica social issues debate and the health minister is not there to defend his record. I thought that was a good one, because I believe that if the health minister did not show up at this debate, I don't think he's going to be a part of any of the other debates. This last night was the night that the health minister would have to be there. And as we know, that is one of the biggest complaints in Jamaica under the the Andrew Holness administration about healthcare. I know they're doing well in terms of the unemployment rate, the crime rate, but when it comes down to healthcare, hospitals, the overrun in the Cornwall Regional Hospitals, the massive the amount of money that they paid for and equipment for the Children's Hospital, Bustamante Children's Hospital, that was a very controversial thing the other day. So for the Team PNP to hit on that, that was a highlight for Team PNP for me, where it came onto the debate. So that was number one in terms of where the PNP scored some of the most points, the hospital. The second one, in my opinion, was schools. That is another education. That is another point where the Jamaica Labour Party cannot brag about having any improvements, because we have seen that the lowest, some of the lowest pass in examination in the Caribbean for Jamaica in decades. So I believe that that was a good point for the People's National Party, Team PNP, also to go after the Jamaican Labour Party in the debate. And then finally, the government increase. The government increase was another good point to make for the People's National Party about what the 300% increase that government officials receive, and in pointing out that that made Jamaican politicians the highest politicians in the Caribbean, and point out at the same time that teachers and police officers, they wanted an increase, and with the increase that they got, it put them at number 6 in the Caribbean. So those 3 points, I believe that that is where the People's National Party was most effective last night. So sound off in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts. Can you add anything? If you believe that the People's National Party won the debate, can you add anything else, any high point in the debate last night for the People's National Party, why you would believe that they came out as the big winners last night? Let me know in the comment section. Okay, so for the Jamaica Labour Party, I thought that the Jamaica Labour Party had the easier job last night in the debate, and it's pretty much running on their record because they have been in government for the past 10 years. So all they had to do was just to say what they did. And that is what they did for the most part, which was the most effective for them in terms of pointing out what they did in the past 10 years in terms of schools, in terms of hospital, even though the hospitals were questionable in terms of like the overrun in billions of dollars for the Cornwall Regional Hospital. They could still be able to run on the fact that they are creating one of the first children's hospital in the past, 50 or so years, or 60 years, because the Bustamante Children's Hospital was built like way back, I think before independence. So pointing out the hospital development, the renovation of hospitals across the country, that was a big win for them, because as I said, it was easier for them because they actually have a record that they can run on. The low crime rate, lowest unemployment in the history of Jamaica. So that's what they did effectively. They also, I thought, a big win for the Jamaica Labour Party was the school bus issue. And I think because people, I know the PNP keep harping on this thing that, okay, the bus, they're old bus. But come on, Jamaicans. Like, look, I remember back in the days when we started getting cars in Jamaica and we used to get the Deportee. Nobody cared that the Deportees were 10 years old. They were renovated, what do you call them, restored, remodeled, older cars. And I remember those Deportee cars in Jamaica, and people were loving them. So it's not like, and to question the safety of the school bus is disingenuous, because the worst thing that can happen with the school bus is that they start driving them and they just shut off on the road. That is the worst thing. And to me, that is not a safety issue for kids. It's not like the bus they're going to turn over and the kids are going to be in risk of losing their life. And when you listen to some of the arguments, you would believe that, oh, you can't allow your kids in those buses because they might not get back home. And that is just not the truth. I understand if you question like in terms of the maintenance of the buses and all of that, that's a good debate to have. But talking about the bus is not safe, I don't think you can win on that. So I thought that the Jamaica Labour Party won that argument, and especially with the People's National Party plan of incentivizing taxi drivers to take the kids to school, which every Jamaican should be able to agree that, look, the taxi system with school historically in Jamaica was never a good thing. We saw these minibus drivers, these taxi drivers dating these underage girls and stuff like that. And that is not to, I believe that the better option is the school bus system, the GPS tracking system, the drivers are trained and are trained by the Hard Trust NTA, and the drivers can be held accountable more than you would have a taxi driver being held accountable. So I thought that the JLP won there. I also thought that they won where the entertainment zone argument is concerned. And we know that Edward Seaga was a big player in the music industry in Jamaica. We know Babsy Grange was a big player and the passion that they have for music. So showing off that record, I thought that was a big win for the Jamaica Labour Party. So sound off in the comment section. Let me know if there's anything else that you could add why you think the Jamaica Labour Party would have won the debate last night. Let me know in the comment section. Yeah, so finally, the one thing I didn't think that was a win for any of them was about the argument about the beaches in Jamaica. I believe that both parties lost that argument because nobody in Jamaica is believing the PNP or the GLP that they have ever had any thought about locals, because for the past 30 years under both administration, we have seen Jamaicans have less and less beach every year. So I believe that the debate on the beach, access to beach, I don't think the PNP won that debate and I don't think the JLP won that debate because both parties have been negligent in terms of they're just selling off the beaches in Jamaica, to be honest. PNP did it, JLP is doing it now. So I don't think anyone won that debate. And one of the things, I think one of the highlights for the night also was how the debate ended. And I know even though Raymond Price, put like a jab at Pernell Charles Jr., I thought the debate ended well. And it was a nice, light moment at the end. So let me know your thoughts on that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we now go to the closing statements. And based on the earlier coin toss decision, Team JLP will go first. And you can begin your 2 minutes.
My fellow Jamaicans, Jamaica is safer and stronger with the JLP. We reduced the murders by 43%, created 250,000 jobs, and we delivered the largest increase in the minimum wage in our history. We gave our doctors, nurses, teachers, police, and other public sector officers the largest pay increase, despite COVID, Hurricane Beryl, droughts, and global uncertainty. And remember, for 8 consecutive years, we did this without any burden of new taxes on you, the Jamaican people. Now we know that prices are rising globally. And that is why we're not just focused on increasing wages, but rather creating better conditions for growth. 33 quarters of growth, save and except for COVID. And still giving support to the most vulnerable. This is the JLP way. We care. Now compare. Under the PNP, wage freezes, heavy taxes, no relief of social pension for Miss Ivy, no relief for the vendor, the taxi operator, the housekeeper, just tax after tax after tax. And we heard Damien and Dayton already talking about taxes. So are you really willing to suffer the indignity of more taxes under the PNP? No way. With the Jamaica Labour Party, increased pension, better agriculture, better health infrastructure, enhanced education. This is our commitment. That's why we say to you, reject the reckless PNP promises. Choose performance. Choose Jamaica. Choose the JLP. The Jamaica Labour Party delivers, and we are committed to doing even more for you. On September 3, remember, put your X beside the bell.
Thank you so much, Team JLP. Team PNP, please go ahead with your closing statements.
One thing you could not have said is spell Jamaica, because we already know you can't. Jamaica has evolved to be one of the world's most recognized brands globally. Yet too many members of the Jamaican family live in standards and conditions that are, simply put, deplorable. On September 3, 2025, we all have an opportunity to put in office a government led by Mark Golding that places the people of the country and every member of the Jamaican family at the center of our policies and programs. In that Jamaica, imagine that you have become unwell and you go to the hospital and there are beds, there are CAT scans, there are MRIs, there is medication and tools to save your lives available right there in the hospital. In that Jamaica, our nurses, teachers, firefighters, and police officers have not just better tools to do their jobs professionally, but also better conditions of work and better salaries with overtime benefits not taxed. In that Jamaica, whether you're up on the corner as a youth, or you're working in a salon as a nail technician or a barber, or a deal with the eyelashes or tattoos, your Jamaica becomes not just the land of your birth, but the land in which your dreams can be achieved within your lifetimes. In the Jamaica led by Mark Golding, more affordable houses will be provided so that mothers and fathers can better care for and protect the members of their own family. On September 3, it's not just about a regular election. It is about creating a Jamaica that you at home can love and be a part of the national success that will be gained. Vote PNP on September 3.
Thank you, thank you, thank you very much to both our teams. Now, in the good spirit of the debates, we now invite both teams to shake hands. And as they do so, I just want to say, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our first debate between Pernell Charles Jr. of the JLP, Kamina Johnson-Smith, and Matthew Samuda for Team JLP, and Damian Crawford, Sophia Fraser-Binns, and Raymond Price for the People's National Party. Join us again Tuesday, August 26 at 9 p.m. for the debate focusing on the economy, which for the first time will be a team debate between Team JLP and Team PNP. Audience, you can clap now.
Okay, so Mr. Vegas, I believe that Mr. Vegas is the biggest asset for the Jamaica Labour Party. Mr. Vegas, I think, is the only entertainer that is involved in all of these election thing that is going on, that is the most passionate, that Mr. Vegas is the one entertainer that it seems like they don't have to pay Mr. Vegas to do anything. Mr. Vegas is just willing to come out and do everything. He's in tune to every debate. He's doing everything in his powers for the Jamaica Labour Party to win a third term. So I believe that Mr. Vegas is, as I said, one of the biggest assets to the Jamaica Labour Party, even though I disagree with his take last night after the election. But this is what Mr. Vegas had to say.
So, I just finished watching the debate, and I know many of you may have watched it. Yeah? So here's my take. The PNP, whether you want to debate or you want to argue who won this debate, yes or no, is neither here nor there. You know what's the most significant thing that came out of this debate? The PNP cares more. The PNP party cares more about Andrew Holness's statutory declaration, Andrew Holness's finances that is in the court under review, or before the court under review, judicial review, than your well-being. The PNP got a chance to ask the Jamaica Labour Party debaters a question, and they ask about Andrew Holness's statutory declaration. One of the things that Jamaican people care less about, according to the polls. Just let that sink in. The PNP team with my brethren Damian Crawford Nothing about what you're going to do for poverty with them talk about every day. What you're going to do for health care. What you're going to do for crime and violence. Why did they go to Andrew Holness's statutory declaration? Let me tell you why. Because there is no question the PNP could have asked the Jamaica Labour Party about any other policies, because the Jamaica Labour Party is doing a great job on crime and violence, doing a good job on health care, doing a good job on poverty, because you still have enough people that suffer. Doing a good job on increasing minimum wage. Doing a good job on increasing the threshold for income tax. Doing a good job of increasing the threshold for small business. They could not ask anything else. Let us not even get into the semantics that's not major in the minor. The only thing you must take away from this debate, if you're a person who wants better for this country, is when the PNP had a chance to ask the Jamaica Labour Party about what they're going to do to make your life better. They asked about Andrew Holness. Let it make sense. Let it make sense. Outside of that, Matthew Samuda is a star. Nobody can argue that, whether you're PNP or JLP. Matthew Samuda is a star. Matthew Samuda is the future of the Jamaica Labour Party based on what I've seen prior to now and tonight. He's a serious man. Matthew Samuda is the future of the Jamaica Labour Party. I feel it in my gut. Yeah, man, I believe that. Yeah, man, the Jamaica Labour Party in a good hands. It's a no-nonsense youth. Whatever the name, Price, you throw off the PNP debaters. That whole heap of dramatic, whole heap of theatrics, brethren. Irrelevant. People don't care about that, Mr. Price. You behave like you came to trace, bro. The undeciders, them now go with the PNP. If this is what is gonna let them decide who to vote for. Your behavior, brother, is too... Yeah, man, your behavior. Yeah, man. Me couldn't take you serious, brother, for nothing way I say. Me think you throw off all Damien Crawford, because Damien Crawford has called out some wrong name or some all kind of something star. You throw off the PNP, Mr. Price. Yeah, man, you have to do better than that, man. You must, at time now, you behave like it's not a serious issue, or it's not a serious debate. You behave like you over CVM, you are Isaac Buchanan and talk about Jamaican people favor monkey. Yeah, nobody can take you serious. Like you make a serious point, you just throw it off. You behave too zesty, be. But with all that said and done, the PNP score a own goal. Everybody must can agree with that. PNP scored an own goal. You had a chance to ask the JLP debaters a question. And you ask them about Andrew Holness? You can't make this up. You can't make this up. No, you can't make this up.